Hurricane Helene is about to strike Florida's Gulf Coast. 80 million people across the Southwest have been warned to expect hurricane-force or tropical storm-force winds.
I've lived in St. Petersburg, Florida for most of my life, and I've never seen our city take a hit like this. Nestled on a peninsula and surrounded by water, St. Pete has a unique microclimate, hot, humid, and bursting with tropical greenery, making it a paradise for both people and pollinators. Over the years, we've had plenty of hurricanes. Some veer off right before landfall, while others graze past, leaving behind fallen trees and battered rooftops. But nothing prepared me for what rising waters could do. As soon as the storm passed, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. Homeowners were panicking, finding honeybees in fallen trees and collapsed structures throughout the city. One of those calls came from Leasa. Her house had flooded, and with no electricity in the sweltering October heat, she was barely holding it together. Just when she thought it couldn't get worse, she found honeybees right where her air conditioner needed replacing.
Crazy to think that there's water all the way up to my hip.
Leasa found the bees on the lower part of the first floor, which meant they had almost certainly been underwater. With the inlet just a block away, the flooding had been unavoidable. I wasn't sure if these bees had survived. We suffered honeybee losses of our own from Hurricane Helene.
Those are all dead bees. More dead bees. Dead bees in the road. There's piles of dead bees.
Every day we rescue unwanted bees, relocating them from homes and building to the apiary, where they can thrive, collecting nectar and making honey for our city. We take pride in our sustainable beekeeping, but losing so many of them overnight was devastating. Years of work gone in an instant. And while I can't complain, so many lost everything. Despite everything, Leasa wasn't ready to give up on the bees. She was determined to save them, and that meant I had to get there and clear the area so we could safely begin to work.
Kind of going down. I think they're over here. And you can see pollen dropped. Little bits of pollen. I think my guess is that they are on this side. You think they're on that side?
No.
Now you changed your mind?
One of the hardest parts of my job isn't dangling from buildings or wrangling power tools. It's figuring out where the bees are. These homes span over a century of construction, each built with different designs and zero regard for future bee removals. No two are alike, making it nearly impossible to predict exactly where the bees have settled. Normally, I'd use a thermal camera, but that only works below 80 degrees, so basically never in Florida. As I cut away the wooden siding, the hive slowly revealed itself. But with so many foraging bees buzzing around, I suspected it stretched further up the wall, so I decided to cut higher. Without a step stool, I had to improvise. A few nearby pavers did the trick, hexagon-shaped, just like the honeycomb inside. A lucky coincidence? Maybe. But in beekeeping, sometimes the best tools are just lying around. I overcut the wood siding, thinking the bees had gone higher.
That's where it ends.
But my educated guess was wrong. A 2x4 ran beneath the window, stretching across the edge of the wall, acting as a barrier. Instead of building straight up, the bees had spread their hives sideways, expanding left to right. Standing back, Leasa watched, grateful that in all the chaos, something good was finally happening. The bees could be saved.
We saved the bees. Look at that. This is where the water line came to. You can see all this looks dead down here, but all this brood is still alive, and these bees made it. They made it through the storm. The water rose all the way up to right there. Lucky bees. So very sweet. Okay. Fresh honey from your wall. Oh my God. Is it good?
It's really good. This is the best thing that's happened to me.
Good. Let's cut up.
More than a week.
Yeah. All right, there's your first piece of fresh honey. Warm honey, it's different when it's warm, isn't it? And so this is all baby brood. You can see, like, if I put my hand here, they'll move out of the way.
Seeing the colony alive was a relief, but I still had concerns. Was the queen alive, and how healthy were they? If she had been near the bottom of the comb when the water rose, she wouldn't have stood a chance. As I pulled away the brood-filled comb, I was surprised by how healthy they looked. Even better, they weren't trying to sting me to death. A good sign of gentle genetics, which are always welcome in our apiary. But as I worked, my focus stayed on one thing: finding the queen.
No queen?
Relocating bees is rewarding, but tasting their honey is something special. As I cut away the comb, I placed small pieces into a jar for Leasa to enjoy later. Each colony collects nectar from the flowers around them, creating a honey that's entirely unique to its neighborhood. It's nature's way of leaving a little sweet signature, and I never get tired of discovering it. I strap the brood comb into wooden frames, making sure the baby bees stay safe. But I can't help feeling a little disappointed. I haven't found the queen. Still, the bees give me hope. They are calm, orderly, moving as if everything is just fine. Without a queen, chaos would take over. The fact that they're steady tells me one thing: that they can still smell her. She's here somewhere. Finally, I spotted the queen. She's absolutely beautiful. Though I might be a little biased, this one is especially stunning, with a lighter color and a long, elegant abdomen. No matter how many times I do this, spotting a queen never gets old. I gently place her into a queen cage, sealing the entrance with masking tape. A few small holes allows her daughters to chew through and release her after a day or two, ensuring a smooth transition to their new home. With the bees safely relocated, I packed up my gear and started cleaning the site. As I drive away, the devastation left by Hurricane Helene is impossible to ignore. Fallen trees, flooded streets, and homes still bearing the scars of the storm. It's a sobering reminder of how fragile everything can be. But in the midst of all this loss, saving even one colony feels like a small victory. The bees will get a fresh start, and in time, so will the people who call this place home. Nature is resilient, and so are we.